Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager with me Alex, and today we've got the Game Week 3 updates for you, transfers for the final game week. I know it's a bit of a late one. I'm going to try and release this as soon as I can, but I've had a busy week so far this week. As you can see, I've got my glasses on. It's going to be a late one. Hopefully I can start bringing you these a bit earlier in the week after the game weeks. I'll try and do a bit of a nicer roundup, but overall I just want to get into how we're going to be lining up this week for our game week transfers and our team and pick our final game week 3 team. So since last week, game week 2, 65 points overall. Flecken in 6 points. Brentford got 3-0 win. Flecken had a fantastic game. I think that the Brentford back line are looking pretty solid, to be fair. I know they've only played the 2 games so far, but that Tottenham team was fantastic, and they managed to not make sure that Fulham didn't get a goal in. Which Fulham, even though you might discredit them, they are pretty good going forward. So Fulham, to stop them, I think is impressive. And Estupiñán, 11 points. He got a goal and an assist. Brilliant. Sort of showing out, didn't get the clean sheet you need, but this is why you bring that type of player in, that full back role. He's going to get in a goal, might get a goal involvement. He got a goal and an assist equally. But then we saw Aston Villa absolutely demolish Everton 4-0. Matty Cash managed to picking up a clean sheet. Hickey managed to get a clean sheet as well, but obviously did get a yellow card. He seems to get a lot of yellow cards, so Rico Henry probably the better option in there, but I'm not gonna complain too much for now. Ben Chilwell came off my bench because Bernardo Silva didn't play. He's now facing. We've got quite a few good run of games there. Luton, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. It's going to be a nice run of games for them to try and get quite a few points in the bag. Saka, my captain, he didn't pull through. There was an opportunity where I thought Nketiah was slotted through by Saka, could have scored. That would have been a nice assist. And then there was a goal opportunity where I think in the starting minutes of the game, maybe the first 3-4 minutes, was on the edge of the box, got inside the box, and I thought he might have scored, but didn't come true. I think it was a decent shout. I think after last week, you would probably expect him to get another goal because he had quite not the highest expected goal involvements, but he is probably the most prolific out of the front 3 that they've got at the moment, of Martinelli, Saka, and Nketiah. So yeah, didn't pull through anyway. I wish I'd probably captained March now, but what can you do? March. I think March, and I called this from the beginning of the season, which is one of probably the proudest one that I called. Solly March to me was just unlucky last year, really, really unlucky. I think he's the main man for like Brighton in terms of going forward at the moment. You see, like Welbeck drops off, Matoma's not really performing. Well, he's performing, but he's not really getting them goal involvements, if you know what I mean. He's like a creative type player where he has those moments. Whereas Solly March, he seems to just get involved with the game. I don't know how, but he seems to just get involved with the games. He gets in there. It's pretty impressive how he just manages to have those split seconds where he understands his role. The late runs into the box. The final touches have been fantastic. It's just falling for him so far this season, which is what he needs. He's managed to get 2 goals against Wolves, setting him up for 15 points this game week because he managed to get 10 points off the 2 goals, 2 points for the 90 minutes, and he got a bonus 3 as well. Rashford had a very poor run out against Tottenham. Again, probably should be scoring based off of these expected goal involvements. Definitely scoring with the .36. I think there was a few opportunities. He was offside for one of them. I think Fernandes is probably a better pick, but at the moment that 9 million that's being spent on him, it's looking like a bit of a waste. Manchester United, they've got a nice bit of a run following the Brighton game, but if the Forest game doesn't go to plan, if things are still struggling, I'll probably consider transferring him out because that 9 million can be spent so much better elsewhere around my squad. So. João Pedro managed to play just 33 minutes, came on in the 57th minute, got a yellow card and managed to get me 0 points, which isn't fantastic. Haaland, you just could tell it was probably not going to, that's why I didn't captain him. Newcastle are pretty strong at the back. We've then got Wissa as well in there, who got a goal and an assist, 2 bonus points. I think he's looking really good this year. Does it tell you how many teams he was selected by? It doesn't, but you can see the influx of I think that's net transfers coming in. You can see he's 121,000 more people transferring him in. His percentages, I don't know if I've still got the one from last week. Let me just double check from my fantasy football recommendations for bringing in players. So I actually had Wissa last week as well. His percentage chosen was 6.3%. It's now gone up to 9.9 as you can see on the screen. So you can tell like people are starting to understand that this 14.3 even. So it's near enough more than doubled. So you can see people are starting to understand that this is the man to bring into your squad. On the bench I had Walker, probably could have brought him in for Chilwell, but either way that's it. So last week, decent week. I think at the moment I'm on 136 points, which is near the top 500,000 people in the league, which is not too far off where I want to be. I think if there's 10 million players, you want to be in the top 5% of the people. That'd be the dream anyway. So top 5%, being that 500,000, or be it now, I think it's like 480,000, 470,000. Sorry, I want to try and get involved with that. So. Anyway, moving on to the next one, we'll have a look at the dream team. So Vicario had a pretty good week against United. Estupinian in there, obviously. Aurier picking up 2 assists, and Digne obviously as well picking up an assist and a clean sheet, getting the 2 bonus points. But it's looking like likely he's going to get transferred out of the Aston Villa squad because of the amount of money they've paid. And Mbeumo picking up 2 goals. He's then got the bonus points in there with 3 and a clean sheet as well, which put him on 16 points, close to Solly March's total as well. Bailey getting a goal and an assist in his game with the 3 bonus points and a clean sheet, so he shot up the ranks. Nobody expected him to come through with it. Everyone expecting probably Diaby to play much more minutes, but in 62 minutes he managed to get a goal and an assist off an expected goal contribution of 1, which is very high. It shows that he's a very, very creative player. Mitoma in there as well. Obviously he had a fantastic solo goal and picked up an assist as well. Diego Jota as well, picking up a goal and an assist in his game against Bournemouth. Wissa in there, and then Antonio as well. The strikers looking pretty poor this year. It's very, very on and off about strikers. It's all about your midfield and who's going to be in your midfield, I think, for the weeks going forward. So in terms of who I'm going to put into my squad, I think I'll show you who I'm going to put into my squad and how I'm going to set up my squad next week. So ideally, I'd have probably Estupinian on against West Ham. You'd expect him to pick up maybe an assist. West Ham looking decent at the back, but still conceding a goal against Chelsea, who aren't the most prolific goal scorers at the moment. Luton. Chelsea have Luton, so I want to try and get as many Chelsea players in my squad now because they have quite a nice run of games in the next 6 game weeks. Fulham, Burnley, Villa at home, and also probably quite a decent game to have. Luton, Forest and Bournemouth, so I'm probably try and overload my team with Chelsea players. City have Sheffield United, so again another 5 game weeks. You're looking at bringing City players in, trying to keep them in the squad. Bernardo Silva, I've still got him in the squad. 6.4 million he's dropped down to now. He did not pick up any goals or contributions in the first game week. You can see here expected contributions or involvements 0.03. He might be a player that I just look to shuffle out because he did pick up an illness as well. And Phil Foden looks pretty strong in that side. Well, he signed a new contract, so it looks like he's going to be long term, but you never know. Rashford in there against Forest. Solly March in there as well with playing West Ham, with Saka in there playing Fulham. João Pedro with the injury to Enciso. Looks like João Pedro is probably going to be the backup or the main number 10 now in behind the striker, so West Ham for him. Crystal Palace. Brentford play Crystal Palace, should I say, sorry. So I've put Wissa in there, and then Haaland plays Sheffield United. So I'm going to put him as my captain. You're hoping to pick up at least 2 goals there. On the bench, I've got obviously the Brentford lads who play Crystal Palace at home. Will it be likely that they don't? In fact, it's probably quite likely that they don't score, but I fancy Onana not conceding any goals against Forest. And then Matty Cash in there, he plays Burnley, but I don't think he'll pick up any assists. Maybe a clean sheet in there, and then Trossard obviously doesn't play for Arsenal at the moment. So in terms of actual transfers, the one that I was thinking of, and I'll pick him up just on the screen now, is actually Raheem Sterling, as you can see above me right now. Because the Chelsea players, I had a look through very quickly, and if you just sort it by this ICT index, which is influence, creativity and threat, which I explained at the very start of the season, you can see Chilwell and Disasi are doing very well. Very, very well. You can see the ICT index for him, 13th out of the top 220. It's quite a few. You can see, depending on what they are here, the influence in the games is quite high. That's what it is. Threat being it from corners. He managed to have quite a high threat level in the Liverpool game because he obviously scored his goal. But overall, you're looking for players with probably a high. It depends what position you're looking at. If you're looking at forwards, you want to be looking at threat. You want to be looking at Nicholas Jackson, 67 on the threat rating. You know, it's quite high. It's not brilliant, but it's quite high, and it shows that he's 15th out of all of the strikers at the moment. That's the sort of thing you want to be looking at. Sterling, 47. This is where it comes into play. So you look at the type of players that are going to be playing now. You're probably going to have in there Enzo, Maduaki, Sterling. I don't know who they're going to play left wing. I don't think they've got a player to play left wing at the moment. So it might be the case if they play this 4-2-3-1 with Chilwell at the left wing, they might play Enzo in there with Caicedo, with then Sterling on the right, Nicholas Jackson up top, and then potentially Maduaki coming on in to replace him, and then playing that 5 at the back. So they've got Gusto, Thiago Silva, Colwell, Disasi, Chilwell. So you can sort of see the team that's already going to be playing. It's going to be an interesting one. So I want to bring in my man Sterling. I do want to bring him in. I think his levels of threat. You can see his goal contributions or goal involvements aren't very high, but the actual threat and creativity levels are very high. And you can see he's 21st out of 289 players. So if you go to the midfielders and look at the threat levels, you can see Mbeumo's up there because he's scoring quite a few goals. Diego Jota, March, Salazar, you know, the type of goal scorers that you've got up there. But when you get down to players down here where Garnacho hasn't scored yet, you know, Mitoma's obviously scored, but Eze I don't think scored yet either, and he's higher than Mitoma. It's about in those games, in those lesser games, are they going to be able to produce this sort of this run? Because I was considering Son, because you look at this the 3 weeks coming up, Son would be a fantastic investment. But do I think he's going to have, you know, those type of games where he's going to contribute any goals? I'd much rather go with Maddison. I was contemplating Maddison, but he did leave with that cast around his ankle, and to be honest with you, Tottenham are probably a good team to invest in as well, because they do have 2 difficult games in Arsenal and Liverpool. But those 8 next games, you're probably looking at bringing in a Tottenham player at some point. So that'll probably be my replacement for Rashford. Might be the Son or the Maddison pick. I want to see how they're performing against Bournemouth, because we know Bournemouth are a hard side to beat, especially away from home. But for now, I want to try and bring in a Chelsea player. It was going to either be Nicholas Jackson or Sterling. With the news about João Pedro, now with Enciso being injured, João Pedro is going to stay in my side. I was going to take him out and put Nicholas Jackson in, but as you can see, his goal involvement is pretty high. He is a decent enough player. They do take penalties. He does take penalties. It seems like he's going to be the penalty taker, or it depends on who wins it, I think. But I'm going to put Sterling in for now. It's going to be a bit of a weird pick. You can see here only 2.8% of people have chosen him, but I'm going to trust in the stats. I'm going to trust in the stats, trust in the eye test. The actual eye test is going to be the one. And I'm going to make that as my substitute this week. So I can probably play a midfield, if I wanted to, with João Pedro coming out and Sterling coming in. I could probably play a midfield 5, and then if Bernardo doesn't play, I'll have João Pedro in as my number 1 substitute to come in. So that's probably going to be my team. I'm going to have in there as a vice captain, probably I'm going to put in there Rashford, just in case. You never know with Haaland, but I think he's going to definitely play, and I think he's going to pick up quite a few goals and assists. So you can see here quite a lot of people own him. Net transfers in, you can see he's 91% of people have picked him anyway. So you got to try and be clever with Haaland. I'd probably go for the big games, like your Arsenal's away from home. I wouldn't captain him, stuff like that. That's just me. And you've got to try and take it week by week. Depends who he's playing against. But Newcastle, big back 4. I didn't think he was going to score any goals. Sheffield United, a weak back 4. Fulham a pretty good back 4, a strong back 4, but they're at home. West Ham away from home. That's the one where I won't be captaining him again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, let me just get my outro. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like as ever, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Sorry for the late episode. Hope you do catch this just in time for your game week transfers to come through. And anyways, catch you in the next one. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.